Had a good normal Tuesday practice. Liked the guys' effort, very physical practice, good effort in the practice, competitiveness, like the energy level, like the guys right here practicing early and with juice and energy. I like that. So very pleased with today's workout. Questions?
Coach, with Everett obviously out, I mean, where does that take you and how do you prepare for that decision so late in the season?
Well, we kind of been working on that earlier in the year too with different situations. He was hurt. We had JJ as a backup when he was out and different things. JJ got plenty of reps. We rep those guys all the time, so JJ will be number 2 and be ready to go.
Is that something you always got to keep in the back of your mind that things can change?
At every position. We do that at every position. We try to keep, that's why we practice like we do with good on good and 1s and 3s, 2s and 4s on the field, so they're always getting plenty of reps and know what to do.
What has JJ evolved?
Well, you saw him in the game. I mean, you say he knows where he's going. He's big, strong, can get the ball down the field, runs better than you think he does. Knowing just knowledge of what goes on, he gets the ball vertically down the field and the underneath stuff. I mean, he's got a good command of our running game. I like the progress he's making.
Jimbo, can you just go over the decision bringing in Everett? And in the end, it didn't probably turn out obviously the way he wanted to. But for you, it was
it was extremely positive. I think it was an extremely positive experience. I mean, I say that. I think what he gave us at the beginning, in the first half of that year and playing, I mean, the guy still, 11 touchdowns he threw. He's a second leading passer in the ACC when he got hurt. I mean, the guy had 3 or 4 turnovers the whole year. We were 6-1 as him as a starter. I mean, tremendous year for him. And I don't know if we're 10-2 without him. I believe that we're definitely not 10-2 without him here. And I think it helped Sean grow in a lot of ways and work and do things. And I think now Sean is progressing into a good player. And Everett coming here was a positive for Florida State, and I think a positive for him.
Now, because it was such a one of the more high-profile graduate transfer cases. People are going to look at it and say, "See, this is why you don't." What do you say to that, man? Because
I think they're crazy. Wow, what's that? There's been tons of them that have been successful, and this one was successful. This one was successful. It was not unsuccessful. So I don't think it's a problem. The kids graduate from college. I mean, they got to have their right to be able to do that. I think it's a good thing for them, especially in playing situations the way things are today. I think it's a great thing.
Jimbo, you talk about guys being on campus for a little while and people start expecting things early. JJ, how different is he now compared to like a year ago?
I think, what was different for JJ though, I think he came in here, it was a big shock to him because they were a very successful high school team, but they didn't throw the football a lot. And you saw his talent, but I mean, just the exposure to the passing game and all the multiplicities of things that go on with it, I think it was very eye-opening. And now I see him starting to calm down. You're starting to see the talent that we saw in the workouts and things we have.
Lorenzo Featherston was in a back brace with you?
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt it. He's got an issue with his lower back.
Jimbo, you spoke highly before of the seniors and their legacy. What they're for this year, though, and the seniors on defense, I guess, what did they bring to the team on the field, off the field?
It's the old school things of, as I go back and say this, I think we have better athletes playing football than we ever have in college football right now. But I don't necessarily always think we have better teams because guys are leaving so early. And I say you saw when 4th and 5th year guys, the maturity levels, the weight room that you get developed for 4 years and 5 years, maturity of going through practice, maturity of just life in general and how you play and the mental toughness it takes. I mean, you go look at look what Giorgio Newberry did. You look at Marcus Brutus, how he come on as the old school guys like that. I mean, you can go right down the line. I mean, Reggie and Terrence and, everybody. I mean, all those guys. Nile. I mean, the maturity, because football, everybody sees the talent of people, but football is a game of, it's execution. You know what I mean? It's performance. And as you get older, you understand that better, just in life in general. And I think it's a great sign that if you can keep those 4th and 5th year guys around, you always got a chance to be a very good football team.
Because a lot of guys have NFL aspirations and maybe after a couple years.
I don't blame guys for leaving early. I mean, if they got the talent, they're going to be a high pick. I think some of them go too early. I think if you're not in the first round or high, I don't know why you go. I don't see the value of that. Maybe a couple positions, but staying for that 4th and 5th year, I think you become a better player. I think you enhance your values. I think you become a better person and mature, and you're ready to handle the things that come at you in life. I really do.
To make that group special, the fact that they stayed engaged and were able to contribute like that.
Engaged, and Tyler Hunt, all those guys. I mean, they guys are just so productive. You know what I mean? Everybody talks about potential. With young guys, you talk about potential. With old guys, you talk about production. Well, you got production out of every one of those guys.
And does that group maybe help for a season like this when you had to keep everybody focused?
They
in November.
Key. Yeah. They were the key to the whole situation. I mean, knowing how to work and how to push, and early and then as that season goes on, that grind I call it. You know what I mean? And now you see them other guys, and they can, hey guys, come on, this is the way it is. You got guys that've been through it, and it was great for them.
It seemed like the younger guys too, like they care about those players' legacy, the older players' legacy, and helping them get to the 50 wins and all that kind of stuff.
They do. I think they understand the importance of team and then what the price those guys have paid, because one day that's going to be them. And so you want to pay it back.
Jimbo, Jalen talked yesterday about learning to be a better leader, not knowing you can't just challenge every guy the same way, and you got to treat teammates different ways. And how have you seen him grow in that way?
Leadership's like coaching. Certain guys you got to get on. Certain guys you got to nurture. Certain guys you got to kick in the tail. Certain guys you got. I mean, it's just a maturity, and you're so individual. And when you're a great player, that's why I think sometimes great players have a harder time coaching, because people they want everybody to see the game like them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think a guy like Jalen, who's just a practice machine, a workout machine, a competitive machine. You know what I mean? And getting other guys to understand that and how to get them. It's not that show them how to do it. It's getting them to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where he grew as the year went on and on.
And you've seen that from him? That's
no
not just
doubt.
Him talking?
No, he has. I mean, he has. He spent time. It matters. And I think it's something, because early when you're so young, that goes back to what I'm talking about again, those guys are so early. I got to establish myself. I got to get myself so I don't feel like leading until I've just done something myself. You know what I'm saying? Well, then what happens, you get part of 1 year out of those guys, like true leadership. You know what I mean? Like he's really starting to show. Just think if you had him for another year or so. I mean, how much different your team would be as far as having that great player really understand that. It's not they didn't. That's just part of the maturation. We're leaving so early. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it tough.
Randy Sanders, what did you see from him this year and kind of his, I guess, increased role calling plays?
No, he did. He did a great job. Randy's a great coach, great quarterback coach. I mean, we on the same page. We have a lot of the same philosophies and a lot of things. He's a big part of our staff.
What was your mindset to kind of give him more freedom, I guess?
Well, I think other areas of the program I need to be in. There's other things that have to. I mean, different teams take different areas of concentration from the head coach at times. You have your set role, and how you can tweak and turn in certain areas. Hey, and you got to have people you can trust. Well, I've got to leave this, and I've got to. You got to leave your kids sometimes. You can't be with them all the time. You got to leave them with somebody. And Randy's had tons of experience. He's a great coach.
As a coach, you've had so much success calling plays. Is that tough to kind of give that up a little bit sometimes?
Well, sometimes it does, but I get back into it. I mean, I don't all the time. Sometimes we let him do it, and then I'll get back into it and go. So, but you got somebody there who can definitely do it. It's a big help. We got a lot of guys. This is a very good staff, very experienced staff in a lot of ways. I turn a lot of responsibilities over to a lot of guys on the staff.
As somebody who grew up as a college football fan, how cool was last night, the Hall of Fame?
That's great. I mean, just walking around and seeing it, and seeing some of the players you coached. I mean, the coaches you coached with, or people you were around and you helped get in there. You know what I'm saying? Or a part of it. I mean, it's just to me, it's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And what the legacies you left. You see the legacies of the guys and the impact they had on so many lives, and how many coaches or players, or not just the wins, but you just feel that when you're in there. I mean, to me, I could stay in there for a week.
Did you pick a team when you went in? Huh? You were supposed to pick a team when you go in?
No, I didn't do that. No, I just looked everywhere. I picked them all.
Anything in particular that was a highlight or particularly memorable?
No, I mean, I think the most part is just different players you were a part of in their careers that were in there, our coaches and people I mean, you always feel better there. But then it would throw you back to your childhood. Like I talked about the game. I mean, we talk about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis probably won a Heisman Trophy in 1974, but the voting had to be in before the last game of the season. They played Notre Dame, who was number 5, and they were real high ranked. They were down 24-0. He scores a touchdown before half, runs the opening kickoff back 102 yards, scores 2 more touchdowns, and they win 55-24. But he didn't get credit for that game. The voting, think about how much, talk about social media. They had to vote to get the votes all the way across the country to New York a week before, and he plays that game, the last game, and he don't even get credit. I mean, he's second in the Heisman or whatever. He may win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, the impact, how different. And I can remember watching that game as a kid, as a 9-year-old kid, in my house, watching that game. I mean, just it's different times. The time eras back, and they would throw you back. It would throw me back to where I was doing at that time and stuff. It was real cool that way.
But guys, you've coached already in the college.
There's a couple of had some Matt Mock stuff in there, different championship games and different things that are some guys are in there.
You're like a walking encyclopedia. You're rattling things off. Is that a place where you learn anything else, or is it just?
Oh, you definitely learn. Just read and pay attention. Remember, look at the numbers and the things that go on, the quotes, the things that are said and how it's done. I mean, you're constantly learning every time you're around there. You don't know all that stuff. There's a ton of stuff in there.